Okay, so what does the sage have to say is the greatest weakness for the Democratic and Republican parties? This will be a quick video because I'm just going to read my notes like a stream of consciousness. So, according to the sage, the Democratic Party's greatest weakness is hexagram 2 or gene key 2. And he says that, let's see here, hexagram 2 or gene key 2 is the most feminine archetypal energy, and it has to do with all of nature. And that's why it's called nature. And it has to do with nature. And it's quite ironic or perfect because Democrats are the environmentalists, got to help the animals, all that activists, animal activists and environmentalists tend to be more democratic in nature. So here's what it says. Democrats see squares, lines, and boxes, seeing the world as mechanistic, being stuck in 3D time and space thinking. This leads to a feeling of being lost, dislocated, cut off, and it's a constant feeling as if we're going in the wrong direction. So the shadow of hexagram or gene key 2 is dislocation, feeling like I'm totally like spinning out of control and that life is always moving in the wrong direction. So this hexagram or gene key has to do with how we relate to nature, which ultimately means all of the cosmos and everything else. But here for the Dems, it is how they relate to nature, which is of course their biggest concern. They see all of life as a set of mechanistic laws, and they see themselves as the guardians of nature, that they, man, have to do something to fix it, help it. They do not yet function in a way that sees nature as consciousness, and that if we just would get out of the way, nature would heal itself. And that they have to stop seeing themselves as superior from nature in any way. We don't have dominion over nature. We don't need to, we just need to get out of its way so it can heal itself. They also have this idea that if they serve the greater good, they will be rewarded with money and security. So there's a false belief. This is, remember, these are their darkest challenges, their greatest challenges. They have taken on a huge set of images that they are the keepers of nature, they are superior, intellectual, compassionate, philanthropic, spiritual, forgiving, all of those types of images they've taken on, and that they will be rewarded in the end. They have also separated themselves from nature by seeing their own lower so-called animal nature as being wrong or bad. Remember in the other video we talked about how the Dems, they feel inadequate for facing their own deep dark feelings, and that's their animal nature, their angry responses or sexual behavior, sexual energies. So that's also one of their most challenging aspects, that they have demonized their own lower nature. They're always seeking to transcend rather than be in the body, spiritually speaking. They are also caught up in the I'm right, you're wrong duality, socialism versus capitalism, materialism versus idealism. When you are stuck on either side, you go nowhere and must move to the middle. So that is what the sage had to say about the greatest challenge for the Dems. Let's see about the Republicans' greatest weakness or shadow. Seeking power. The hexagram that I got was hexagram / gene key 4 as the greatest weakness for the Republicans, which the shadow is of intolerance. This gene key slash hexagram is about seeking power, using God, religion, or even the sage, as a source of knowledge to be used for ego gains. They have a tendency to exalt what is old, what is believed to be powerful, belief that humans are the center of the universe and that all great achievements are due to human genius. Winning is the most important thing. Humans are superior due to their large brains and that their view knows what's best for the rest. So these are, weaknesses of the Republican perspective. In the gene keys terms, their greatest weakness is intolerance. This is about the mind and emotions getting caught up in emotional reactions. We know about that. And using the mind to justify these reactions. Like they could be having a bad day, and if they can decide they don't like you, and the mind will come up with every bazillion different reasons to justify why now they don't like you. They use the mind, it manipulates them and finds reasons and justifications for everything. The mind rules and reacts and has a tendency to project hatred and vindictiveness. Let's see here. Another weakness is they see death as the end and has placed it as a dark thing, a bad thing, that we are all doomed. So, get the good while it's good. No, get it. You know what I'm saying? Get it while it's good, because when you're dead, that's all there is. The sage has also indicated, because they had several lines which indicates shadowy behavior, transgressions against other people, animals, plants, and the environment, and against the cosmos by hiding cosmic truths or trying to be the authority of such. The sage also makes it clear that it is not a human's job to punish or kill another for their transgressions. So, does this not fit perfectly for a Republican perspective on death penalty? So, these are the two greatest weaknesses for both parties. Neither one is pretty. So we'll talk about the greatest gifts that both parties have to offer in another video, and maybe not today.